funeral can't be too silly, or like you can't have this guy was like playing some song, and then he had like a little jazzy breakdown. I was like, stop now, this is a funeral. You shouldn't just be improvising unless the song went like that.
Unless it's in New Orleans, and then you're supposed to only do the jazzy breakdown.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? Regionally, I think I have expectations for a funeral that
you want them to be sad.
Somewhat. So there has to be like a sadness to joke ratio, where it's like two sads and then a joke.
Sure, but tears and laughter, no jazzy riffs. Jazzy riffs don't really accomplish either one of those things. They're not sad nor funny.
No, they're just
a waste of people's time.
They're just selfish.
Yeah,
because like suddenly like. Here's an improvisational, obviously I had lessons, sorry your dad's dead or whatever.
Right. And then what do you do? Why do you need sound at a wedding?
Why would you hire a musician to do a funeral? I don't understand.
Because nobody wants to talk. It's awkward.
Oh.
Music makes it easier.
I think at that point it's too late.
Not for the people who are dead.
Right? I had so much to say to him. Well, he was alive. Like I didn't lose my uncle. He has been lost.
You didn't personally kill him, is what you're saying.
Exactly. And when we went to the funeral, it was a military one, so you have like 15 minutes. It's very like
15 minutes.
Yeah, it's like a service, and then they do the 21 gun salute, which they do 7 guns at a time, 3 times. I was like, lame.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I know. I thought they'd have like whatever
21 shots. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Technically, so it's really like a technical 21 gun salute. In either case, at that point, I was like, well, maybe some kind of accompaniment would be all right. Because as soon as it was over, like, maybe we should, I don't know if I can, they probably won't hear it. But some of my relatives were like taking like selfies with the casket. I was like, let's just skip this part.
Yeah.
What is wrong with y'all?
I'm just surprised at the 15-minute time. I mean, is that the military? Or are they like, okay, men, stop crying? You had your 15 minutes.
Listen, you had time for emotion. It was before today. This is all business. No, I don't know about that.
All right.
But it was, that's not the first one I've been to. I have a lot of uncles, if you can believe it. All mostly military. Yeah. So I've been to a few of them, and yeah, it's like 15, 20 minutes, and they're like, it's so professional, and like also time constraints, because they're like, we understand that this is a grieving process, but we do have to move, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I mean, not to be insensitive, but I imagine the military has performed a lot of funerals.
Oh, definitely.
They've got it down to a science.
I would imagine so. If anything, there was like, you know how you get kind of mesmerized by cool things in architecture or whatever, so you're like driving down and there's all these headstones, and that's all people.
Yeah.
But also it's kind of a cool like little zigzag line if you look at it, if you're a little high or something, like while you're driving past it, you're like, oh sweet, because of the way it passes by your window.
Yeah.
All that geometry, you're like, that's pretty rad. Wait, that's people. Those are people.
It's a neat parallax effect. Like, it'd make a good video game background if you were doing like jumps for mushrooms and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. Though jumping and mushrooms not advised.
We should probably tell people what's going on. Hi, welcome to Thanks Academy, the podcast where we watch all the best picture winners of all time in random order with random friends. And today's random friend is Leo Garcia.
Yo, how's it going, yo?
Yeah, he has thoughts on death.
Oh, sure.
and sound design and a lot of things.
Yeah, I got lots of opinions.
What are we going to watch today?
Today we're watching Argo, which I believe is the prequel to Fargo.
It came out after. Well, yeah, so I guess that...
The gritty reboot.
The prequels, they do have to come after, don't they? You can't, like, release something...
Otherwise, it's just the first one's a sequel.
It's just the first movie.
Yeah.
It's not the prequel to the sequel?
No, that would be ostentatious, but just right for this demographic.
What if the second movie's really good and the first one sucked? Then can you call the first one the prequel?
Then it's Spider-Man.
Oh my god, no, Argo is, I don't know what it is. This is the most recent movie we've done on the podcast. I know Ben Affleck made it.
And he made it?
He made it. He directed it. And, put his hair in it. He acted in it too. His hair and his chin. And I think, I might be wrong on this, I think he won Best Director too. I think Argo swept it up that year, if I remember right.
How you like them apples?
But I do no fact checking or research for this podcast. All I know is that this is like Ben Affleck earning back all of the Geely.
We thought you were done after that Geely. Yeah. We didn't think anybody could come back from that one.
And he did.
That's the one with
J-Lo.
J-Lo? Okay.
Yeah.
What's the other really bad pop one that... Glitter. Who's in that?
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. Okay.
Yeah. It's more like... It's not like Mariah Carey was in Glitter. It's like Glitter was in Mariah Carey. No. It's just like a moment in her life that we all acknowledged.
This is my pinnacle.
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose it was. What?
Yeah. Mariah Carey doesn't do movies. Movies do her.
So Ben Affleck has redeemed himself to be the Batman.
Yeah, artistic enough to get...
to go ahead and take one more dive.
Take another dive. I don't know if this movie's any good or not. Sometimes the Academy gets all hot and bothered over a movie that's not that great.
Yeah, let's put it into context. What was 2012 about? Okay, I know this is a Middle Eastern movie, right?
Yeah, I believe it takes place in the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like, cyclical stuff. Isn't it mirroring things from today? That's what I'm going to...
Yeah, maybe.
That's my stab at it. That's what
we're like mid-Obama here, so everybody's pretty bored.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing much really happening.
I think Epic Rap Battles of History is pretty hot on YouTube at the moment. So, yeah, I
that feels very correct. Like encyclopedic YouTube knowledge there.
I have to admit that I've watched them all, so it's not like I don't know what I'm talking about. This is when they did like a...
when was History of Dance? Was that 2008? Was that the beginning of Obama?
I think so, yeah.
And then we got to Epic Rap Battles by the second term.
Yeah. And now nobody wants to remember anything.
Well, the only thing you watch on YouTube now is conspiracy theories that fit your worldview.
Oh, man. And react videos, a lot of those.
Oh yeah, react videos are hot right now.
God, I even Patreoned one. I find this is two guys that watch metal videos for the first time. They're black dudes. I'm just gonna say it because that's what they do. Well, and anyways, that's like the whole point. They're like hip hop guys their whole life, and they're like, we're trying to broaden our perspective. And they like sit there and they go through lyrics and they like analyze its meaning and stuff. In either case, they had to do only one Metallica video, and I was like, I love y'all's perspective. And so now I follow them on Patreon.
This would be a really good react. Like, I should set some little Nest cams up or something and, like, get our, like, random people react to movies they haven't seen before. Would that be a hit? That would be a hit.
Is that Tejano that I'm hearing?
Oh, yeah. My neighbors... I swear to God, I didn't coordinate this or set it up in any way.
I know what you're all about.
Oh, okay. I just wanted you to feel comfortable in this white lady's house. I'm sorry. I didn't.
If you guys could be done by about 7-ish, put on your little jamsies or whatever it is you like to listen to.
Yeah, I just hired them from the Serranos down the street. They were wandering around. Love it. Okay. Well, is there anything you're looking forward to about this movie, or what do you think it's going to be about? Do you have any thoughts?
Other than I hope I don't cry.
Oh God, I didn't even think about that possibility.
I like emotions. Okay. So yeah, other than that, I'm very open to whatever it is that this is supposed to be presenting. I hope it's not too in-your-facey with its opinions. Who knows?
Guessing. I know this like something to do with Iran hostage crisis, I think. And I'm guessing it's going to be one of those, like, intense movies, but with lots of little jokes in it to make it okay. Like, little moments that are funny. I don't see Ben Affleck making either one of us cry. I just... that's not his style.
All I'm thinking about is how he's Batman now anyways, really.
Yeah. Let's just see what Batman's up to in this movie.
This is actually a Batman prequel.
Yeah! All right, Batman really began here. Coming up now. I hate when movies start off with really quiet music and I don't know where to set the volume. And it just gets louder and louder.
I'm already seeing like an old grain to it. Like this is a movie that's going to try and make itself look old.
This is the Persian Empire.
Yeah.
Known today as
fucking fantastic. I finally get a modern movie and it wants to look old.
For 2,500 years, this land was ruled by a series of kings, known as Shahs.
Yeah, I guess I was kind of hoping for like a Forrest Gumpy type vibe. And I don't think they're going to bust out like a "Some folks are born, made to raise a flag."
police have abandoned their post. If the police are not
what if this was a Forrest Gump sequel and we had no idea?
I understand. The Prime Minister
This is all about where Jenny was between the 70s and the 80s.
Look at me.
Yeah, I think I've seen that at Rock Rally.
I got banned from Rock Rally.
What'd you do?
I worked there at selling beer, and I made fun of it on Twitter, and they banned me.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It sucks. I don't have any followers.
Very sensitive people.
I know. For all their muscles. And stripper poles. Lots of stripper poles.
Is that a blue Chewbacca?
It's Blue Baka.
Blue Baka!
Though if I did have to impersonate like any particular region, I would like the northern Midwest up to Canada, because I like talking like that, you know. Got a little.
Yeah, seriously.
Gotta be going in there, you know, taking a little film there, you know, science fiction. It's gonna be for the kiddos, gonna be for the family, you know.
You say you're preparing to be extracted by Canadians?
Hey, you should come down to it, you know. Gotta get my citizenship over there. I got that free medicine. That's gonna be pretty good, you know. That's why I'd be bad at improv. I don't want to do that shit. You and I realized that went on too long.
Oh, he gets to go to the room.
Ah, just like my airport experiences.
Yeah, mine too. Oh.
You too?
Yeah.
Every time?
If I don't have my kids.
Shit.
If I have my kids, they let me do whatever I want.
Ghostbusters.
Studio 6 production.
A long bus ride back to America.
Oh God, come on! All right, it just crossed the line.
A Deus Ex gear shift.
Another job well done for Ben Affleck.
Tony Martinez. Kevin
Frank Harkin.
Kevin
Bacon.
Harkin. It was Kevin Harkin. Because at first I was Kevin Harkin. I was like,
Yes.
God damn!
Alan Arkin.
Alan.
John Goodman. These sideburn guys.
Lots of sideburns.
Walter White.
Eventually,
Oh,
Well, they whited him up.
every hospital.
that kind of sucks.
That's how you can pass as a producer.
Is an Iranian?
Yeah,
oh no,
exactly.
producer or something. Jesus.
An Iranian producer.
Okay, well that really sucks. All right,
That's fun.
and I'm mad.
They're doing it for me, actually.
Well,
It's not me. It's not like, oh, hey, okay.
so I swear to God, I don't plan these. Like,
I wouldn't.
you pick the numbers.
Uh-huh.
I get 2 movies, and then I kind of. That's my limit of my like finger on the thing. Is basically, do I want to watch
What
this
was,
or not? I don't remember what the other one was. I asked you. I have
Oh, right,
2.
yeah.
I have 2 because
remember.
I asked the one that's more famous if you've seen it,
Mhm.
and if you have, then we see the other one.
What else was nominated this year?
I have no idea. I'll look it up. But while I look it up, can we talk about this? You don't have to talk about this if you don't want to. But how fucking disappointing is it that this is a story about an American hero, like a true like one of the few heroes in CIA history, and he's Hispanic, and he's played by Ben Affleck.
I think, how else are you gonna get this movie made?
You're not, yeah, okay. Because I'm like, the name was there, but you know what I mean. Like
Sometimes
when they showed
there's-
a picture, I was like, "Fuck you guys."
And that's why they had to say it to the very, very end.
Yeah.
They couldn't do his picture right up first. And they're like, oh, look at all these comparisons.
Yeah, everybody else was getting like spot on comparisons, and they looked almost exactly.
What's fun about being brown in an international setting is before you open your mouth, nobody really knows where you're from.
True.
I've been to the Caribbean a couple of times, and shopkeepers, and been like, Latino. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Latino. They point to your skin. I'm
Okay.
like, Latino. And I was like, oh, Latino. Yeah, no, not this guy. I mean, yes. It's really a hard answer for a pair of Nikes. But I mean, it's not anything I'm not used to.
Oh man! All right, well here we go. Here's what it was up against.
Okay, Argo won.
Yeah.
Best director.
It did not win Best Director. Ang Lee won for something. Wait, seriously? I don't recognize half of these movies. Oh, this was when they first expanded it. From 5 to like whatever it is now, 2010.
Oh.
So some movie called Amour.
Okay.
Beasts of the Southern Wild. Django Unchained.
Okay.
Les Miserables.
Whoa.
Which nobody liked. Life of Pi, which Ang Lee won Best Director for. Lincoln. So this beat Lincoln.
Wow.
Yeah. Silver Linings Playbook. And Zero Dark 30. So that was kind of a surprise win, honestly. Because between Lincoln, Zero Dark 30, and Life of Pi.
I guess it is the only one that like tugged at people who are still alive heartstrings. Like any kind of story about Lincoln is gonna be.
Well, Zero Dark 30 is like freaking contemporary.
Is it? What was that one about?
That was Catching Bin Laden.
Oh shit! Okay, so
yeah.
we have Catching Bin Laden coming in second to actually
to this BS.
Yeah.
I mean, as a historic event, obviously not BS, but like.
Maybe because it took longer.
It's not a bad movie.
It does lend itself to a script because it seems so farcical.
Of course this got made into a movie.
Yeah.
That part makes perfect sense to me. But Best Picture, this got so tricked up. You know how they do it. This got so tricked up with fake suspense. Every little moment that they could add a touch of suspense to, they piled it on to the point where we were laughing.
Yeah.
And it did. It felt like an episode of 24.
And it did.
But with like less stakes.
Yeah, I'm surprised like they didn't just have a scene too and like somebody getting onto the plane trips. And they're like, oh my god, we only have 40 seconds or whatever. You know, it really did throw in a gear grind.
Yeah.
Just for that. Just for nothing.
I'm surprised one of the women didn't fall on her heels.
Or what I don't believe about it, if we want to go into that aspect, is none of them were sweating profusely.
That's true, and it was the 70s when that sort of thing was not frowned upon.
Yeah, exactly.
It was considered pretty cool.
Everybody sweat.
Everybody sweat.
Everybody discoed. Everybody sweat for some reason. Salt. Other people's salt was fine.
The overall story, I absolutely obviously believe because they couldn't fake it. It's too famous. But the details, come on. There's no way. I mean, I'm sure it was tense.
The blue baka.
I don't know. If anybody hasn't seen it, the basic story is that during the Iran hostage crisis, 6 of the people in the embassy hid out at the Canadian embassy's house, and the CIA tried to extract them. The best idea they could come up with was to fake a location scout, Ben Affleck as the CIA, James Bond type, who goes and fakes the location scout with them and then sneaks them out on an airplane. Basic story. There's not much else to it.
No, not really. It threw in a lot of 1979 era people that I'm guessing we're supposed to somewhat know, or no, I guess it's not really important.
Yeah,
who those people were.
The Carter administration features in this movie, and unfortunately, the Carter administration is not a memorable one from the point of view of people born after it.
Sure.
If they went back to Ford, we would have known all of the people in that administration because they came back during Bush's.
I did hear him say Agnew, and I was like, oh, I guess Spiro Agnew was still alive. I don't even know. I just know the name.
He was alive, but that's Nixon's vice president.
Yeah, but I think it was like some sort of intelligence something for a while.
Okay.
But all I could think of was a Futurama reference, the headless body of Spiro Agnew.
Yeah.
So I couldn't, I don't know. I don't know enough about the era or why the crisis was important.
It pissed us off.
Sure. Oh yeah, they had those good old boys scenes from Real News clippings back then. That is something that is very similar.
I mean, this whole thing lost Carter the presidency.
For 80.
For 80. Yeah, he was up for re-election. Basically, America felt like its whole mojo is destroyed by this hostage crisis.
So then they went right.
Because like Vietnam, we were like, ugh. And then Watergate, we were like, ugh. And then this happened, we were like, come on! Come on! We need oil and we need a win.
Damn peanut farmer, whatever.
Get the monkey boy from the movies. We're gonna go kick some ass.
We're gonna have great teeth. 2, we're gonna get out there. We're gonna bomb everybody.
Right.
I can't see why this won. To be perfectly honest, what did it win again?
Best Picture.
Best Picture
of all time.
Of all
for 2012.
Because they thought it was going to be the last one because it was the 2012 like the Mayan.
Oh yeah, the Mayan calendar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't a movie about that. Unless that's what Life of Pi is about. I didn't see it.
No, it'd be Apocalypto.
Oh yes, that's right. Mel Gibson made that movie.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know.
Wow.
I don't know when that happened or why, but it doesn't feel like a Best Picture winner. It's entertaining. Most definitely.
It feels like a blockbuster night. It feels
it
feels like a new release rental.
Yeah, get Argo and like a pack of popcorn for $3.99. It feels like how Catch Me If You Can was supposed to be an important movie, or it's supposed to be like you've got to see this.
It was fun.
That was exactly. It didn't make me feel too the stakes were too bad, and also. I think that part where they were going through in the van for that crowd. Yeah. The scariest part for them were like, this is what political activism looks like?
Well, that's the part I kept thinking about. Oh my God, I'm going to nerd out for a second with you.
Do it.
If you're okay with that.
Oh.
So, obviously, we just defeated the Nazis yesterday when this was taped. The Unite the Right rally had like 30 people at it, and then a bunch of Antifa, there's like hundreds of them, right? And they got a bunch of press, mostly from Fox News, but just in general about how rude they were, Antifa. You know, just rude, aggravated, angry protesters. But it's like, we're fighting Nazis, right? And then I'm reading all these books about the French Commune of Paris, the late 19th century when the Second Empire fell apart, and the communists took over Paris briefly for like a year, and it didn't go well. There was a lot of murdering and not cool shit going on, and a lot of like, you know, when the French revolt, they heads literally roll. And so like I'm reading about these like twins, you know, and then like obviously we're having this moment right now in our politics where we're reconsidering like what does socialism mean for us, and so I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like there's this instinctive gut reaction against agitated pitchforks on the streets, you know, social movements, but that seems to be the only thing that's going to cure us of our little Nazi problem. But then Iran is like a perfect textbook example of, boy, they had all the right reasons to revolt and then picked all the wrong people to follow in the aftermath. Yeah. And so I was really torn watching the storming the embassy scene. They set that up pretty well. I thought the beginning of the movie was fantastic. They set it up really well, kind of talking about the history of America's relationship with Iran. And when the people were storming the U.S. Embassy, like, fuck yeah! Those are the Nazis. Those are the people who are fucking with your country, destroying your culture. Of course you're pissed. But then things get pretty horrific pretty fast.
I think when people organize themselves in large, or at least when large groups hit a fervor pitch, that I don't know, man. That's where idealism meets like action, right? And that's beautiful. And also sometimes one dude's just like, let's beat the shit out of this dude.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, why? And they're like, because he's against us.
Yeah.
And that's not. We're just so susceptible to, what would you call it?
Mob mentality, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So it bothers me when people so readily advocate for revolution because those things happen in revolution.
Yes. And that's the thing with Antifa. I understand people who are apprehensive about that look of a movement, right? Mm-hmm. But the reason that the left's protest movements have been so suffused with nonviolence is to make sure that that line is walked well. Like, yeah, we need a mass solidarity. We need hundreds of thousands of people marching in the streets with their fists in the air. But you have to go in there with the mentality of, I'm not looking for the first motherfucker to hang.
Yeah.
Because that happens really fast and things get really shitty.
Yeah. And that's, I guess, how I'm a little upper crusty about it, you know? Like, I'm not as fervent as other folks about revolution, but then they say, you know, after your 30s, you're already set in your ways anyways. And I'm like, well,
true.
Maybe I am indoctrinated by America, but God damn it, I'm going to stop at Sonic before I come to this podcast.
Totally. I mean, I've fallen in that same weird line where I'm like, absolutely go punch a Nazi. You see a Nazi, punch him. Don't even pause. Just do it. But maybe not during a protest when there's hundreds of people and weapons and everything. That's like, there is a wrong time to punch a Nazi, maybe?
There was
and that's when it can lead to, like, punching the first dude with a suspicious tattoo and little hair. Because that happens to white guys. They get dumb tattoos and lose their hair. Yeah. And they might not be a Nazi.
I currently have a friend who's like, I don't know what to do with my hair. He's losing them on top. He's like, I go bald, man. And people will be like, this fucking skinhead.
Exactly.
And I'm like, yeah, I know. I have no idea what that's like, right?
Right. So, like, punch Richard Spencer in the mouth because, like, he's Twitter verified as a Nazi, but maybe not just, like, go to a protest and then find the first Nazi-looking person you see and string them up. Anyway, we diverged a lot there, but
I don't know. I don't know if we did or not because, like, as far as the setup, the whole reason they had that setup at the very beginning of the movie was like, see, these aren't just some angry Middle Easterns that we have for...
They were justified.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I maybe that's part of the reason why. I think the reason it won is because Hollywood was like, let's pat ourselves on the back. We did that? Hell yeah!
Absolutely. It is so... Okay, so many Best Picture winners are, like, slow, like, low-key about making movies. It's Hollywood, like, it's always going to give a movie about making movies an extra push to the top.
It is hard.
The middle of the movie, or like the beginning of the second act, was all about talking about how Hollywood is tougher than the Shah's Iran, which is wrong. I know they were joking.
Oh, right.
But they were like, oh, you think the Shah, the Ayatollah, or you think the Ayatollah is tough? Wait till you see Sardi's at noon, or whatever the fuck you're saying.
I can't imagine that being... but it would be interesting to know why the Hollywood sign burned. I'm guessing it's just a regular wildfire. Somebody didn't just set fire to the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how...
I'm going to look that one up because I just want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's important. You keep
keep pontificating. How many times do people feel like it's the end of times?
Right.
Because, like, if you take into... Okay, so there was all those things that you had mentioned earlier, Vietnam, Watergate, the Iran hostage situation, right? In a span of a decade, right? Really defeating America down to the point where it's like, well, let's get some right-wing... Let's get some hardcore... let's war on crime it right after this. That's going to pick us back up. But... it must have felt desperate. People kind of always feel desperate, I think.
Yeah, it does kind of come in cycles. I mean, it's interesting that this movie is almost exactly 40 years in the past in terms of the events that took place. And it does feel like every 40 years.
You know, they say that in sociological terms, ideas tend to come back around every generation and a half. So about 20 to 30 years.
Yep.
It's like old ideas get recycled. I guess it's like some sort of not mimetic, but like a state of mind that is subversive, that takes root a generation or so later.
And that makes total sense to me. By the way, the Hollywood sign answer is really disappointing.
Is it?
Yeah, it was just falling.
Electrical fire?
It was just falling apart.
What?
They just weren't taking care of it.
There's no gas to get up the mountain.
Yeah, see, it's another thing. There's probably all these signs in the late 70s. You looked around, it just felt like in New York, you know all those movies from the 70s, New York was fucking falling apart.
They had just figured out what smog was.
Crime was, they just, Lake Erie was catching on fire or whatever was happening in the Midwest.
And the EPA just was enacted shortly thereafter, I think.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I was playing a video game set in the 1980s, and they talk about the U.S. boycotting the Russian Olympics.
Yeah.
Because of all that, and I was like, couldn't do it this time, huh? Or for the World Cup. I mean, I guess we didn't even make it into the World Cup, so it doesn't really matter.
We boycotted it with our incompetence.
Russia, we won't even try it. We're gonna hang our cleats up on this one.
Yeah. So there's a very soft boycott. Besides, with this administration, I'm surprised we didn't get like a gimme in. Like, oh, you know what? Throw Iceland out.
I don't think the Republican Party is going to care about international football.
I think if they do, they wanted to be there.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But okay.
Like Pence's Hamilton. There's no way he wanted to see Hamilton.
Can you imagine?
Showing up to the World Cup, there's no way you want to be there.
Hey, that's Mike Pence's job in this administration is to do all the fruity half European things and then walk out of them.
With a disapproving face.
With a disapproving face.
He's a great optic for the Mr. Magoo demographic who's like, that's how I feel.
Yes, that turtle-looking man expresses my thoughts exactly on his sock puppet face. God, I hate Mike Pence. Yeah. Sorry to get political, audience.
Sorry to get political during this discussion of Argo.
Argo, fuck yourself.
Oh my gosh.
How much did they want that to be the tagline?
They said it 5 times. And at the very end, too, you know what I told her? Something she wouldn't have even known about. Argo, fuck yourself.
I'm guessing that line is what got this movie made somehow. Like, that's what got it greenlit by some producer who's just chuckling to himself in his solid gold bathtub. Like, Argo, fuck yourself. I love it. I'm intrigued. Say it again.
Can we say it? You know, it's like when you have a late night chuckle and then you go and look at your notebook and the next morning you're like, that's not funny.
Yeah.
But they went ahead and made the script around it.
But then you put it in your set anyway because you're scraping, and then the audience goes wild and you're like, fuck, I got a catchphrase now. Yeah. All right.
That's why I stopped doing that bit. It was like things you never hear cholos say. That one was just too popular.
Yeah. I
did not like that.
That sounds like a wrote it while eating, fast food, kind of like just back of your head.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a couple like that I had to let go for. Not for being too popular, because that's never been a problem for me. But for me being like, dude, is this the kind of person I want to be?
Exactly.
Like, do I really want to milk this cow?
Yeah.
What was going on with... Sorry, I had a thought, now I can't remember it.
What was going on
with that scene where they were driving through the mob? So that's one of those moments I think they made it up. I don't think that part.
Oh,
really
sure,
happened.
that was one of those. That was a big gear crank.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, there's that extra day they had to stay and scout the bazaar, and it was really scary because it delayed everything, and that was it. And then the scriptwriter was like, well, we got to make it 20 more scaries.
It's kind of peaking out at this 15 scary level. We need to have a good 35 scary instead of measurement for a good Hollywood movie.
Because why would you come across a giant protest where they're saying something like "Death to the USA" or just shouting whatever they're shouting for most of the movie. It's the same phrase over and over again. And he decides to drive through it with a bunch of white people in the car.
This was some badass tent.
And I saw that they were like, oh, well, the crowd also came behind them. That's the part I didn't believe, so they couldn't back out. But, just sit there, turn your car off, and everybody get down and wait for the parade to be over.
The parade. Is this the Bulls on Parade I've heard so much about?
Oh, they're raging against a machine. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, We understand this, and we will in 15 years.
Oh man, I love. I've always felt a real big connection to Raven Virginia because the lead singer is Latino, right?
Yeah, he's cool.
And so for the Tony Mendez guy to be played, that's like the Rage Against the Machine movie is going to be like Zac Efron as Zach De La Rocha.
Oh my god, that's scary plausible. Wait, no, okay, hold on. I really want to cast this movie now. So the Rage Against the Machine movie, they're going to obviously cast a white person for Zach De La Rocha.
Yeah,
you can't have a Latino guy.
What's going to be the main juice of it is when they played opposite of the Democratic National Convention.
Right.
Because as far as like politics and rage goes, more susceptible in a two-party system to be aligned with the Democratic Party, right?
Yeah.
Rather than the Republicans. But for them to play outside of that Democratic National Convention is be like, no, you also fucking suck.
Yeah.
So that would be the climax. But who would be the best, like...
Exactly. Like, if you really wanted to cast a good, screamy, kind of mouse-faced... dreadlock having...
Oh my gosh, he does have a little mouse face.
It's
like Feifel Goes West.
He's a talented man, and I appreciate his art. That doesn't make his face any less mousy.
Way. Not even like cartoon mousy, but like actual conical mouse face.
Yeah, like someone got halfway through an experiment. Oh man, I'm being mean now.
No, he'll appreciate it for the freedom we're speaking with. He understands.
I don't know if he listens.
You
never know.
We can't throw that.
I'll tag him. I'll make sure I'll hashtag him or something.
I don't know if there is a white actor that can convey centuries of oppression in that, off the top of my head.
No, I can't think of. But I can't even. Here's the sad part. I can't even think of a Latinx actor who could do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a look. That is they would have to go digging in the casting headshot files looking for somebody, kind of like they did for Freddie Mercury. Didn't they pull some guy out of nowhere?
And they did with the guy with the comb over in this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They really dug deep for comb over guy.
He didn't actually have that many lines, so I think that kind of worked out.
I think his main job in this movie was sitting in the back of the bus and having a huge forehead while the Iranian cops looked at that picture of him with a huge forehead.
And with that massive forehead, no sweat.
Again, they had, it was a movie. Like, they were making a movie, so they brought the powder kit, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then also it was January, so it was kind of cold.
That's true. That would help with the sweat.
Yeah. Not for this guy.
Was it January? I thought it took him a couple months to get going.
For the rest
of January, and they were talking about it.
Yeah, as for the rest of the hostages, they were there for 400 and something days.
They were there another year.
Yeah.
They didn't get out. They literally got released the day of Reagan's inauguration.
Man, this movie really sparks a lot of things. Maybe that's why it won. Maybe it sparked a lot of conversations
about how badly we fucked up the Middle East since 1960.
Yeah, and I suppose then what we're seeing with Central America is our comeuppance for having also disposed many a government.
Oh yeah.
Through the 70s and 80s. And what's fun is that call them banana republics. They even said it in the movie.
They did.
Banana Republic.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's what we are now. Because we just don't have their financial backing like we would install in a small government. But at the same point, like, fucking hackable. Did you see that today?
What?
There was it's like a hacker convention where they have kids try to hack into some of, like, replicas of some of the most secure websites. And the Florida, I think it was like in Florida, this convention that they have, this site that they were testing, was hacked by an 11-year-old in 10 minutes.
Wait, what site was it?
It was like how they, I guess, hold or make accountable the ballots and shit.
Oh, fuck. The
Secretary
of State.
Yeah, like data servers but it was all a mock thing, right?
But no, everybody's known that those are insecure, except nobody has the political will to, like, make that an election issue.
We really got to start making, like, 11-year-old CIA operatives and shit.
Totally. I mean, Ben Affleck's kid in this movie could have done a better job.
He actually is the reason that those people are free.
That's true. He was the motivation.
Although, if we wanted to get more particular about it, it was technically Attack of the Planet of the Apes.
That's right. And the makeup guy.
Who
did the makeup and gave...
this. That's why they gave it to Ben Affleck. This Mendez guy, he's not even important in this one. It was his son. It was the makeup dude.
Ben Affleck does very little in this movie.
He does.
He comes up with this idea, and then he goes around.
And then he makes it happen through his sheer...
just showing up.
Chin of will.
Yeah, but he doesn't literally put his neck on the line. I mean, in theory, with the group he was, but he wasn't like at the forefront, fast talking, wheeling, dealing. He made them all do all the work.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah. I think at one point he pulled out some documents.
He acted like my dad at most of our airport wheelings and dealings.
Just play it cool.
Yeah,
just make them think they lost them.
Yeah. Oh man, that part too.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's their only method of ascertaining information about immigrants, and they're like, "Yeah, 6 of them, that fits. Go ahead, you're fine."
I'm sure that the real story, obviously it's believable, it's a real story, but like I'm sure that the real story doesn't have these plot holes. And that they introduced them by trying to create like 35 scaries so that we would just be sweaty the whole time.
Well, I think too that would have been a good spot for another little grinding gears of like the thing that was like out of ink, and they're like,
Yeah, or Ben Affleck when he was handwriting the passport stamps. Remember they showed that? Like, if they noticed that one of them smudged, and they're like, that's not indelible India ink. That's a big pen.
That's a big pen that was obviously written in a Sheridan.
Yeah. Why did he get to stay in the Sheridan?
Why didn't they show more people eating KFC?
Oh, that was the best shot in the movie.
That really was. I love
the women in the Chadors eating KFC was pretty sweet.
I'm glad you knew the word because I didn't.
Well, I think it was a burqa except their faces were uncovered, so I think that's a Chador at that point. I probably don't know the word. I just said it confidently because I too am Argo.
I am fucked. I do not know. I'm glad that you were like, let's stay ignorant about this because I really want to look at anything. I really thought it was a place.
Oh, yeah, I kind of did, too. I thought it was the name of the place in Iran.
Yeah, Argo, Iran.
Why not?
There's a Kalamazoo. Fuck, they're going to be in Argo.
Yeah.
And I guess the parts I like the most about it... I always get endeared being recently married when couples are, like, in a situation and they're both panicky.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what would be happening.
Yeah, there's 2 couples. Mm-hmm. That was nice.
That was nice. There was the cool couple.
Yeah.
Take whoever. They were the ones with the mustache, and the lady who looked like 3 ladies from Orange Is the New Black.
Oh, Clea Duvall.
Clea Duvall.
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
What else was she in?
She showed up recently on Handmaid's Tale, but she's done more than that. I can't think of any big stuff she's done. But she has a very distinctive kind of facial shape.
You've got a facial shape.
When I see people, I just think of what animal.
We're finding out a lot about you tonight, Karina.
Yeah,
we're gonna rag on Zach De La O. We're gonna talk about a lot of foreheads, and also like when I see people, I think of the animal they remind me of.
I'm not a nice person. That's why I try to vent all my anger on safe targets, like the best pictures
of 2012
of all time.
I am honored that I got to have a more recent movie because I was a little nervous. I thought
you get some fusty old movie.
I thought we were gonna The Grapes of Wrath or something.
That never won.
That never won?
I don't think so.
It went up against the Argo of its time.
No, we knocked off so many old movies in the first dozen episodes that it was about time we got some like current ones. I still haven't pulled a 90s movie, which is the ones I've seen.
How about those phones?
Oh,
that just felt
brick
good.
cell phones.
That just felt good to hear. The big corded.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Rotary
phone.
Turn dial is appropriate and accurate.
It's a spinny motion. It's like a fidget spinner on a phone.
Well, that's the most millennial thing that's been said on this podcast. Sorry, that's really funny to me.
I was even thinking about, like, they didn't even have, like, 1010 220. They didn't have answering machines.
They didn't even have 1-800-COLLECT, son.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like, it was just a whole bunch of call and hope. I mean, luckily they had telephones.
Was your phoning experience growing up like that?
Yes. Don't look at me with sadness.
I never get to do this. I never get to feel.
When I talked on those phones. Now mine were push button.
Okay.
Because I'm 10 years younger than these people.
Slightly more technologically savvy.
But yeah, I had a phone with a cord, and I had to like take it from my.
Is it literally called push tone?
Touch tone.
Touch tone.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And I had to take it from my mom's room and then like drag it into my room with a cord running through the hallway and close the door so I could talk to my friends in private for hours.
We moved to in between San Marcos and Seguin, so we had this little farm, and I got a phone in my room. I was 12, and I called my first girlfriend, Jennifer Flores, if you're out there.
I'm sure there's lots of Jennifer Flores.
I'm sure there's probably a Jennifer Flores in this general vicinity that we're
could have been. Yeah.
But yeah, that's exactly what on the phone in secret at like 10:30.
Yeah.
Like, cool. I'm gonna call you at.
But
10.
you had to have like a cordless because I didn't get the cordless.
No, I had. It was on my desk with a cord with another cord to it. And I remember one time, that's how I got busted, is I rolled over and just, Plaid, what's going on? Were you on the phone? No, sort of.
The party line problem when your parents pick up the phone and make a call and they hear you talking.
That's fun.
Oh my God, I remember when everybody on my block, all at once, because I grew up in one of those Keeping Up with the Joneses neighborhoods.
Uh-huh.
Look, the neighbors across the street were named the Joneses. It was very stereotypical. And everybody on the block got cordless phones at the same time. Because I guess they were like the big shit at Radio Shack 93 or whatever, you know? So what we found out quickly somehow, you know how kids are always experimenting and like finding out that you can play a record backwards and Satan will talk to you? Mm-hmm. Similar. If you take the cordless phone out into the middle of the block, then you start to pick up other people's cordless phone signals.
What?
And so me and my friends would go out there like kind of evening time after dinner and just kind of walk up and down the block waiting to pick up on some mom's conversation, and then we'd listen in and we'd feel all special. They were never saying anything interesting. Like we didn't listen to the moms in person. I don't know why we wanted to listen to them on the phone.
This is even sadder over the phone. Fuck.
Jeez.
If anything, it was an inclination of like what to expect as an adult, and you're like, well, still, I'm gonna fucking listen.
Same bullshit, but yeah.
Oh, jeez. I really don't know what to think about them being labeled as spies just for. I'm going back to the movie, but being labeled as spies just for having. What was it? Papers that didn't match? Was that the only part that they were worried about?
They did not have entrance papers. They only had exit papers.
Okay.
Because he couldn't manufacture. So what he did on the way in is he grabbed those duplicate forms.
And that's why he's sitting there making them.
He made them, but like they didn't have the white part on file because he couldn't hand them 7 white files. Like, hey, put these in there for my buds.
Oh.
You know?
Hey, bro. I think that it was all around fun. It was like a fun hostage situation mixed in with some real world sadness that they didn't harp on long enough to make me feel real ways about things.
That's true. Who was your favorite Iranian in the movie?
Oh, definitely the 3 guards at the end who were making the spaceship sounds.
Yes. I was going to go same scene, but I was going to go head guard who yells at them in Farsi really aggressively until the one guy starts talking back, and then after all of that says to them in perfect British English, like, well, I'm going to go check out your story. He was my favorite. Yeah. That was like, I think, the one cool move. that I actually bought into in the movie. Like, because I don't know why I didn't see that coming, but it was great. It was great to see that old hack trick.
I just don't like seeing brown people in a position of power. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm kidding. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. They'd find the lightest skinned Iranian dude to be the head of that group.
Well, Leo, technically they're Aryan, so...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you can think they're brown, but that's just your white eyes. Your white eyes are painting them that way.
I'm so uncultured.
Oh my god, thank you so much for coming on and talking about this Ben Affleck movie.
Yo, I really had a lot of fun.
I think I've ever said that sentence before. Do you have anything you want to promote?
Yeah, I'll be doing a guest spot at the Valve on the 24th and 25th, Velveeta Room.
Nice.
And then I'll be headlining a show at Noble Ray Brewery in Dallas on the 30th.
Noble Ray Brewery in Dallas.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So if you listen in Dallas, we actually have a comedy plug for you for once.
Booyah!
Not all comedy happens in Austin.
Wes Corwin, thank you.
Thanks, Wes. Love you.
Did he just get married?
Did he?
I think he did.
I haven't seen hide nor hair of Wes since
me either. I haven't.
The 90s.
He had that joke about a sad horse, and
That's a good joke.
I was like, he's better than me, and that's all I ever thought. Then he moved away. I was like, I guess he's not.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Rate us on whatever you're listening to us on. It really does make a difference, and it really helps, and it really makes my day, and it really makes me feel good. And I sound 8 years old all of a sudden. I'll see you next week with another fun movie. Bye.
Bye.